Hey everybody, welcome. I hope you had a wonderful week and good practice building data apps with Plotly and Dash. In this tutorial, I'm going to show you all about the button. I'm going to teach you how to add a button to your Python data app, this button from Plotly Dash HTML button. I'm going to teach you how to add a button from Dash Bootstrap, another library that has pretty cool button styles and colors. You'll see how to change themes. You'll see how to change the size of the button, maybe disable the button as well. I'm also going to teach you how to add icons to your button, like this little cloud. And then we'll go over the button from Dash Mantine components. This library has pretty cool buttons as well that you could add to your Dash app. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to connect the button to an input component inside an app. Now, this is all part of the book of Dash, the book that we just wrote, Anne-Marie, Chris Mayer, and I. Very excited about it. It's coming out this month. This is extra content. This is bonus content, not in the book, but we wanted to write this article for you and record this video so you have more opportunities to learn Dash and to build powerful data apps in Python. The main book itself is inside this GitHub repo, but this is only the repo. So if you want to purchase the book or learn more about the book, go into the description under the video. I'm going to add that link to the book and you can read a lot more about it. Alright, so to get started, I created this, make it a little bit bigger, this app.py file for you, and I'm going to go over this file in this tutorial, in this video. So I would recommend go to this link under the video, my GitHub repo, Dash by Plotly, go into the button folder. This is going to be under the video, and just download it. Just copy everything and put this in your computer, so it will be it'll be easier for you to follow, and you can do exactly what I do. All right, so let's get started. I'm going to go into PyCharm, and there's many different sections, but only this section is open. So I'm going to run this section now, and we're going to see this. All right, so now this is a very basic HTML button with Dash. You see this button right here, you click enter. It's not interactive yet. This will do at the end of the video. This is just a nice button that says enter. You can change it to submit now, and it would update because this is true. It's going to update on the fly, and now it says submit now. So this is the simplest and fastest way to create a button with Dash. The second way of creating a button is through a Dash Bootstrap button. Dash Bootstrap component. Do save, we'll rerun, and you'll see this is the title, Dash Bootstrap button, the title of this section, which belongs to the second section of this chapter, the Dash Bootstrap button. All right. So what you see here, let's run it, 8002 port. Now what you see here, these 6 buttons are these 6 buttons here. Don't forget, sometimes I forget and I'm not sure what's happening, but the only thing that I think the Bootstrap button is not working, but I forget to incorporate the theme. If you're using Dash Bootstrap, you have to import the Dash Bootstrap library here as DBC, and then make sure to assign a theme to it inside where you instantiate Dash. Okay? You can do the Bootstrap theme, you can do the Cyborg theme. There's many other themes that you can use, but don't forget to do this. All right, so we have 6 buttons. This is the text inside the button. The text could be anything you want, but this is a text. And the color is primary is blue, secondary is gray, and so on and so on. But this is relevant and true to the Bootstrap theme. If it was a Cyborg theme, it might be slightly different. For example, the info color here is light blue or azure, and I think for a cyborg or for a different theme, this color is different. Okay, now these happen to be the same, but the color is always the same. Like the green color in Dash Bootstrap theme is always called success. You have to call it success and you'll get the green color. You can put here anything you want, you see, and but it will still remain, let me save this, but it will still remain green. We just change the text here, but it still remains green because the success is green. Okay. The other thing that we do here is we are adding a class name. We're assigning a Bootstrap class to the class name property. So ME stands for margin end 1. So at the end of this button to the right, there's a margin of 1 unit, another margin 1 unit, another margin for every single button at the end. This comes from the cheat sheet here that I'm going to share under the video. This is just a cheat sheet that will help you understand how to assign different classes to your components. So you can see here the margin end, and it'll give you a few examples of this. Make sure to save this cheat sheet that's under the video because it's very helpful. You will use it a lot. Okay, now let's do some more styling of the Dash Bootstrap button component. Let's close this. Let's open this one. This is the third chapter, or the third section of the chapter. And here you see that we have 6 different buttons, but they're not only color changes, but a few other properties within the button also change. Now you see here we're using the outline property, disabled, and size. You might not know where these properties have come from, so I'm going to add this link under the video. This is the Dash Bootstrap button component. At the very end of this page, you'll see all the different arguments or properties of the button. In this case, we're using size and outline. Where's outline here? We have outline represents the button style. And then you can have size and disabled. So these are all the properties, and we're using some of them here. Color primary, this means that this second button is going to be blue because it's primary when you hover over it, but the outline is true. And when you do outline true, this is what you see. You see like a empty background, and when you hover over it, it becomes blue. Disabled true. So you can see this is disabled. You can't do anything with it. It doesn't click. Large, this is size LG is large, size SM is small, and color link just gives it like a, this is a regular button, but it looks like a link. Great. Now let's go to the fourth part of the chapter, which is that adding icons to our Bootstrap button. So here we're going to add these little clouds. So let's close this. Oops, cancel. Open this last code from line 69. Let's run it. Port 8004. Okay, so now we see 2 clouds, very, very similar. The only difference is that one cloud comes from Font Awesome and the other cloud comes from Bootstrap Icons. All right, so the way you do it, you have to create an HTML.I component. This comes from Dash. Inside, you assign the Font Awesome component or class. You assign the Font Awesome class to the class name property. ME is just, remember, this is from here, just ME, this is margin at the end 2 units, so there's going to be 2 units of space at the end here. So this is the name of the component for a cloud, and this belongs to Font Awesome because it's FA. I will also link under the video the Font Awesome website where you can see all the different components and their names and their titles or classes. And then the Bootstrap icon is using BI So BI cloud, arrow down, and then we put this object that we created inside the button component right before the download. So it's right here, and then there's margin to the end of 2, so there's 2 units of space here, and then 2 units of space here. You see that? And this one, where is it? Yeah. Cool. So we have icons. Now I'm going to show you how to create dash Bootstrap button with Iconify. Iconify is another very cool library that has a very nice set of icons that are it's just more variability. Like this in this Iconify library, we're going to add this cloud download and this like settings check, right? To do that, you just have to import the dash Iconify class from dash Iconify. Make sure to install pip install dash Iconify if you don't have it. And then we're still going to use Bootstrap for the layout, and we're going to create 2 different icons, the download and the setting icon. This for this cloud, you would need to call it this name, and you can go to the link under the video, this link right here, Iconify, and you'll see that if you put this cloud search, this 2 types will come up, right? This one or this one. Fill, this is without fill, and this is with a fill. So ours is without a fill. You just copy this, you put it inside the icon, you assign it to the icon property, and then you put the whole object into the button, into the DBC button next to download right here, with a little bit of margin between the icon and the download text right here. Okay, and then another that icon from the Iconify is going to be carbon setting check. So we can copy this like that. We can go here, copy it, enter, and you see this Iconify, this carbon setting check. Now, obviously, you will probably not know. I don't know what the names of each icon are. So you can go to show all available icon sets, and then you can go to search for stuff like material design, and then you'll see all like hundreds and hundreds of pages of icons. You click on them. Let's do no internet, no Wi-Fi. So we'll do this, no Wi-Fi. We'll add this here, no Wi-Fi, folks. And this should change to no Wi-Fi once it refreshes. Perfect. So we got it, and now you see there's a this icon of no internet or no Wi-Fi. Cool. So that's all you need to do. It's very cool. There's it's a great library, and there's many different icons to choose from. All right, let's close this and open port 8006 dash Mantine button. So open this, and this dash Mantine button section refers to this right here, dash Mantine components, and you see that it also has a lot of different buttons that you can build and incorporate into your app. And it uses the variant property and the radius and the compact. So if you say, for example, compact true, you'll see this kind of button which looks a lot smaller. It wraps around the text, and that's it. Radius large, here's a large radius. Outline variant, light, gradient. So many different ways of playing around with it. The best way to look at these button properties, variant, radius, compact, is go into dash Mantine, go into unique components, go here to button, bouton, properties at the very end, and then you'll see all the different properties that you can use: compact, disabled, full width, and we're using variant, uppercase. So pretty amazing, all the different stuff that you can do with dash Mantine and the button of dash Mantine. All right, let's go into one before last. Let's go into the adding a button to a form inside your app. So we're going to go like this, and for this we need a callback. So let's run it. All right, and now we see that we have a submit button, submit, and we have a username. Here is an input with an empty username. So we're going to put in this username, I don't know, Adam, or let's put something else, Ben, or my name, like that. And when we click on it, it will give us a message, welcome my name. Or let's put new user, and we'll click enter, and you see welcome new user. Now this is done through the callback. So what we did here is we created the form using -bootstrap form input and label. Enter username, and inside and under the form we put a button and then an empty HTML div. So there's nothing in here. This is an empty space that you can see here. We put everything inside a container, so inside the layout, and then we use the callback to connect between everything. If we don't have the callback, if it's hashtagged out, then you can click on the button all you want. It's not going to do anything, right? You need the callback for it to be interactive. I have a complete chapter about the callback, so click on the video above if you want to learn all about the callback and how to make your components interactive. So in this case, we're taking the end clicks of the button, this, and we're saying if the button is clicked, trigger the callback function, trigger this, and then write a script. If the name is the value of the username input, right? So this is the value, whatever people put here. If the name exists, it's not none, then write welcome, the name, and then add exclamation mark, my name, right? Like that, submit, welcome, my name, exclamation mark. If the name is empty, it doesn't exist, it's none, then please enter username, right? If it doesn't exist. So we'll do that, submit, please enter username, because it doesn't exist. Now this goes inside the children of the output container, so this goes right here inside the children. Blah, 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 blah. All right. So this is for connecting the button to an input. Now I'm going to show you something very important where, because you might have some apps that have two buttons, and you need to, the app needs to know what button was clicked on. So let's take this for example. This last piece of code, I'm going to run it. And here you see we have two different buttons. And if I click on register name, if there's no name, it'll say please enter username, like you can see here. Here. And if there is Adam, then it'll say welcome Adam. Now, if I do submit application, it will say please enter username, submit, your application has been submitted. But it can only do this, because we used the callback context CTX. We're importing CTX, and we're using CTX to understand what button was triggered. So we're saying take the two inputs, the two buttons, end clicks and end clicks, the two of them right here belonging to this button, and then take the value as a state. Remember, state does not trigger a callback, it's just there, called name. And then say when one of the button is clicked, we don't know which one, but when one of them is clicked, ctx.triggeredID will be called button clicked. And then we say if the button clicked equals button 1, if the first button was clicked, then do something. If the second button was clicked, this one, then do something else, right? This is your application has been submitted. So this is how the app can tell a difference between what buttons or components were clicked on or activated inside the callback. Again, I have the video on top if you want to learn all about the callback. I hope this was helpful. I was trying to teach you all about the buttons and the different ways you can build a button with Dash. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, open your notifications so you can be notified when I do another video in a couple of weeks. And don't forget to check out the book. And always remember, we are better together, so help each other out. Until later, bye-bye.